Krishna Hari Om Ram. Hari Om Ram 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 Ram Hari Om Ram. Hari Om Ram Krishna 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 Hari Om Ram. Hari Om Ram Ram Hari Om Ram. Hari Om Ram Krishna 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 Hari Om Ram. Hari Om Ram Ram Hari Om Ram. Hari Om Ram Krishna Hari Om Ram. Hari Om Ram Ram Hari Om Ram. Hari Om Ram Krishna Hari Om Ram. बोली सी वासुदेव भगवान की जय. Puja will be performed devotees while it's being done. We will continue. We focus on that same Sri Ram, Sri Krishna, as we mentioned, that Brahm, he is Ganesh, he is Hanuman, he is Shivaji. Different aspects, the same one divine. Ram Krishna Hare Mukunda Murare Panduranga Panduranga Ram Krishna Hare Jai Ram Shri Ram Jai Jai Rama Shri Ram Jai Ram Jaya Jaya Rama Vitthal Vitthal Panduranga Ram Krishna Hare Vitthal Vitthal Panduranga Rama Krishna Hare Rama Krishna Hare Mukunda Murari Rama Krishna Hare Mukunda Murari Panduranga Panduranga Rama Krishna Hare Panduranga Panduranga Rama Krishna Hare Jai Ram Shri Ram Jai Jai Ram Jai Ram Shri Ram Jai Jai Ram Shri Ram Jai Ram Jaya Jaya Rama Shri Ram Jai Ram Jaya Jaya Rama Vitthal Vitthal Panduranga Rama Krishna Hare 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 Rama Krishna Hare Mukunda Murari Radhesham Radhesham Radha Madhava Radhesham Sitaram Sitaram Sita Vallabha Sitaram Radha Mukunda Radhesham Radha Govinda Radhesham Radha Mukunda Radhesham Radha Govinda Radhesham Radha 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 He Radhe Govinda Vrindavan Govinda He Krishna Mukunda He Nanda Nandana Oh Nanda Nandana He Nanda Nandana Oh Nanda Nandana Oh Nanda Nandana Radhe Govinda Radhe Govinda Radhe Govinda. We perform our horn, concentrating again now. Om ang ang jwalit mukhe arun mata varun pita Shandil gotra pavakanam agni devai namostutem. Om agach deva devesha tejo rasi jagatpate kriyamanang maya pujang grihan sursatama. Om nana ratna samayuktam kartaswara vibhushatam asanam deva devesha pricharitam pratigrihitam. Brahm agni namah avahayami sthapayami pujayami. Offer water on 3 times. Om Namo Svanantaye Sahasramurtaye Sahasrapadakshi Sharurabhave Sahasranamane Purushaye Saswate Sahasrakutuyug Dharini Namaha. Brahmagnaye Namaha. Gayatri mantra 5 times. Harihi Om Tat Sat, Harihi Om Tat Sat, Harihi Om Tat Sat. Om Om Prajapataye Swaha, Idam Prajapataye Idam Namama. Om Indraye Swaha, Idam Indraye Idam Namama. Om Agnaye Swaha, Idam Agni Idam Namama. Om Somaye Swaha, Idam Somay Idam Namama. Om Bhu Swaha, Idam Agni Idam Namama. Om Bhuva Swaha, Idam Vayavi Idam Namama. Om Swaha Swaha, Idam Suryay Idam Namama. O for Gajanan Swami. Om Ganganapataye Namah Swaha.
Om Ganganapataye Namah Swaha. Om Ganganapataye Namah Swaha. Om Ganganapataye Namah Swaha. Om Ganganapataye Namah Swaha. Om Ganganapataye Namah Swaha. Om Ganganapataye Namah Swaha. Om Ganganapataye Namah Swaha. Om Ganganapataye Namah Swaha. Om Ganganapataye Namah Swaha. Om Ganganapataye Namah Swaha.
Durga Ma. Om Hrim Shrim Chandikaya Namah Swaha.
Om Hrim Shrim Chandikaya Namah Swaha. Om Hrim Shrim Chandikaya Namah Swaha. Om Hrim Shrim Chandikaya Namah Swaha. Om Hrim Shrim Chandikaya Namah Swaha. Om Hrim Shrim Chandikaya Namah Swaha. Om Hrim Shrim Chandikaya Namah Swaha. Om Hrim Shrim Chandikaya Namah Swaha. Om Hrim Shrim Chandikaya Namah Swaha.
Kalima.
Om Krim Kaliye Namah Swaha. 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 Om Krim Kaliye Namah Swaha.
Mahalakshmi Ma.
Om Shri Mahalakshmi Mata Vyo Namo Namah Swaha. 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 Om Shri Mahalakshmi Mata Vyo Namo Namah Swaha.
Saraswati Ma.
Om Shri Hrim Saraswate Swaha. 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 Om Shri Hrim Saraswate Swaha.
ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय।
ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय स्वाहा। 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 ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय।
नारायण भगवान।
ओम नमो भगवते नारायणाय स्वाहा। 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 ओम नमो भगवते नारायणाय।
सूर्य नारायण स्वामी।
ओम श्री सूर्याय नमः स्वाहा। 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 ओम श्री सूर्याय नमः स्वाहा।
ओम नमः शिवाय।
ओम नमः शिवाय स्वाहा। 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 ओम नमः शिवाय स्वाहा।
ओम श्री अगिंदेवाय स्वाहा। इष्ट देवाय स्वाहा। कुल देवाय स्वाहा। अष्टान देवाय स्वाहा। ग्राम देवाय स्वाहा। वास्तुदेवाय स्वाहा। सर्वदेवता सर्वदेवी भ्यो नमो नमः स्वाहा। मृत्युंजय मंत्र जाप। बोलिए शिव उमापति महादेव की जय। ओम हौम ओम जूम ओम सह।
ओम भूम ओम भुवः ओम स्वः। ओम त्र्यंबकं यजामहे सुगन्धिं पुष्टिवर्धनम् उर्वारुकमिव बन्धनान् मृत्युर्मुक्ष्यमामृतात्। ओम स्वः ओम भुवः ओम भूम ओम सः ओम जूम ओम हौं ओम नमः शिवाय स्वाहा। ओम हौं ओम जूम ओम सः ओम भूम ओम भुवः ओम स्वः। ओम त्र्यंबकं
offer some neem leaf. Om Namaschandikaya Swaha. Google, sugar, mix up. Om Sarva Devata Sarva Devi Bhyo Namo Namah Swaha. Achman. Om Sarva Papaharang Dibyam Gangeyang Nirmalam Jalam Achmanang Chamayadatam Grihitam Purushotamaha. Fan the fire, take a flower, fan the fire towards the murtis 5 times. Vanaspati Rasud Bhuto Gandhadhi Gandha Uttama Agreyang Sarva Devanang Dhupoyam Pratigrihitam Dhupam Samarpayami. Brahmagnaye Namaha. We concentrate on Lakshmi Mata, take a flower. Om Namostestu Mahamai Sri Pithi Sur Pujite Shankha Chakra Gadahaste Mahalakshmi Namostute. Om Lakshmi Karutu Kalyanam Arogyam Sukha Sampadam Mama Shatru Vinashaya Deepa Jyotir Namostute Siddheshwari Mahalakshmi Mata Namo Namaha. Bole Sri Mahalakshmi Mata ki Jai. Now devotees, we concentrate on Bhagavan Shankar for a few moments. Now, I would like you to reflect as we perform the kirtan, the meaning, and as I've been explaining, it represents a journey. So, simple kirtan, Antar Jyoti Namo, that inner light. Antar Jyot, what is it? It is Atma. Paramatma Jyot, Param Atma Jyot, the Supreme Soul, Bholenath, the soul of the universe. We are trying to establish, as the Vedas have declared, Aham Brahmasmi. Shankaracharya ji, Adi Shankar put it like this: Chidananda Rupaha Shivoham Shivoham. I am Shiva. So this is the journey. Antar Jyoti Namo. I bow to that inner light, which is part and parcel of that supreme light, Paramatma Jyot. Mama Jivan Jyot. Again, it relates to the microcosm, the individual soul. Akhanda Jyot, that supreme Purush, indivisible, one without parts. He is that supreme, that one we strive to attain, to become one with. So as you chant, you try to visualize. If you look at the Murti of Bhagavan Shankar, the snake about his neck, the snake represents that individual ego, which can be very deadly as a serpent, if not transformed in attitude and so on, to identify with a cosmic ego, which is Shiva himself. Naga Bhushan, we all should strive to become like ornaments, as it were, on the body of that Lord, as we put it. Meaning, we transform this individual ego to identify with that cosmic ego. This is the journey. So understand what it means, and if for this point in time at least you can forget all this individuality and identify with that Supreme Purush. There is only one, there can't be two. Antara Jyoti Namo, Paramahatma Jyoti Namo, Antara Jyoti Namo, Paramahatma Jyoti Namo. Antara Jyoti Namo, Paramahatma Jyoti Namo. Akhanda Jyoti Namo, जीवन ज्योति नमो ये अखंड ज्योति नमो मम जीवन ज्योति नमो अंतरयामि नमो जय सद्गुरु शिव नमो अंतरयामि नमो जय सद्गुरु शिव नमो अंतर ज्योति नमो परमात्मा ज्योति नमो अखंड ज्योति नमो मम जीवन ज्योति नमो ये अखंड ज्योति नमो मम जीवन ज्योति नमो अंतरयामि नमो जय सद्गुरु शिव नमो अंतरयामि नमो जय सद्गुरु शिव नमो अंतर ज्योति नमो परमात्मा ज्योति नमो मम जीवन ज्योति नमो जय सद्गुरु शिव नमो Devotees, we are told early in the morning time when we awake, it is always recommended that we worship the divine. It is through His grace that we see a new day. Isn't that so? So, what I would like to do at this point, the Shiv Pratha Smaran Stotram, that special stotra that we chant early in the morning time, as we meditate upon Bhagavan Shankar, let's try to familiarize ourselves with it. So repeat after me. Pratah Smarami Bhavabhiti Harang Suresham Gangadharam Vrishabha Vahanam Ambikesham Khatwang Shula Varadabhaya Hastamisham Sansara Roga Haram Aushadham Advitiyam. So I'm working it like this for you, so you can recite it after me. But if you have to recite it, you get it clear. Om Pratah Smarami Bhavabhiti Harang Suresham Gangadharam Vrishabhavahanam Ambikesham Khatwang Shul Vradabhaya Hastamisham Sansara Roga Haram Aushadham Advitiyam. So what we are saying, at dawn, I contemplate on Shiva, Devonki Dev Mahadev, the God of gods, the remover of the fear of transmigration, who holds the Ganga in his locks, matted locks, Jata. He rides a bull, Nandi. He is Lord of Ambika, that divine mother. He wields the club and the spear, Khatwanga Shula, in two of his hands, and with the other two hands, Varadabhaya Hastamisham, he offers the boon of protection. One surrenders to Shiva, one is not affected by fear, become Abhay, and not Mudra, Abhay Mudra. So, Khatwanga Shula Varadabhaya Hastamisham, who is at Shiva, he is that one infallible remedy for the affliction of relative existence, sansar, this world of duality. Shiva represents that state of dispassion in the world but not of the world. So once I worship and I reach to that state, is a solution to go beyond the world of duality. Again we continue. So the first thing we meditate upon Shiva, Pratah Smarami. Then what we do? Repeat again. Pratar Namami Girisham Girijardha Deham Sarga Sthiti Pralay Karnam Adidevam Vishveshwaram Vijita Vishwa Manobhiramam Sansara Roga Haram Aushadham Advitiyam. Pratar Namami Girisham Girijardha Deham Sarga Sthiti Pralaya Karnam Adidevam Vishveshwaram Vijita Vishwa Manobhiramam Sansara Roga Haram Aushadham Advitiyam. So now, after having meditated, contemplated upon the Lord, I bow to Him. At dawn, I bow to Shiva. Who is Shiva? He is that Lord of the mountain, Girisham. Girijardha Deham. He is Ardhanarishwar, half of his body made up of Shakti, half Shiva as we say. He is our primeval Lord, who is the cause of Sarga, creation, Sthiti, maintenance, Pralay, destruction, reabsorption, dissolution of all the world as such. I bow to that Lord, who is the conqueror of the world. Vishveshwaram Vijita, Vishwa Manobhiramam. He captivates the mind of all. Vishwa Manobhiramam. I bow to that one Lord, that one infallible remedy for the afflictions of relative existence, sansar. Let's go again, repeat after me. Pratar Bhajami Shivam Ekam Anantam Adyam Vedanta Vedyam Managham Purusham Mahantam Nam Adi Bheda Rahitam Khadbhava Shunyam Sansara Roga Haram Aushadham Advitiyam. So, having bowed down to the Lord, then what I do? Pratar Bhajami Shivam Ekamananta Madhyam Vedanta Veda Managang Purushang Mahantam Namadi Bhedarahitam Khadbhava Shunyam Sansara Rogaharam Aushadham Advitiyam. Bhaj means to worship. I seek. So Pratar Bhajami. Now I worship that Lord. Shivam. Who is He? Ekam, the prime cause, one and only. Anant, infinite. Adyam, no beginning. He that pure one, that Supreme Being, taught only by Vedanta. Vedanta Vedamanagham, Purushang Mahandam. That one, in essence, Nam Adi Bhedarahitam. No name, no form, no differentiation. He is devoid of differentiation. He is devoid of the 6 modifications of the human body. All of us. There is birth, there is existence, there is growth. There is maturity, there is decay and death. These are the 6 modifications of the human body. Shiva is beyond that. Hence, he is that one infallible remedy for these afflictions of this relative existence. In this world, there are all sorts of problems we have, all sorts of challenges, all sorts of difficulties. So devotees, I believe that this stotra has been given to you. I would like to believe that. And people should know it by now. If not, get into it. Every morning we get up, we should be saying that. Concentrating on Bholenath Bhagwan Shankar. It's like you are surrendering to him. You know, what else again is there in this world of affliction? Notice, there's affliction on all sides. And we have been saying there are 3 types of afflictions. Daihik, Daivik and Bhautik. Who is free from these 6? From these 3? Who is free? And especially as we who are caught up and we undergo modifications, the 6 modifications. Imagine our problems. But in essence, who am I? You see, the body undergoes these changes. I don't. Who is the I? Antarjot, which is Paramatma Jot. That doesn't undergo any changes whatsoever. None. It is beyond all these different forms of differentiation. And until I come to that state, I'll be subjected to all the afflictions that I have, that I'm exposed to. So if you want to know why it is we can't be happy, why it is things don't work right all the time, it's because I'm caught up in this world of duality, sansar. The only time I can be beyond is if I identify and I become one with that indefinable, one without a second. So devotees, we are speaking of Shiva here, but devotees may have different forms of divinity that you like to worship. Nothing is wrong. But why specifically Shiva? We have been saying that if you don't have that state of dispassion, you cannot go forward in life. And all the different aspects of divinity, they represent different qualities, as we have been saying time and again. Lord Shiva represents that state of dispassion. Vairagya, without which we cannot go forward in life. We can never go forward in life. Whatever form of God you worship, nothing is wrong. But as you continue that journey of life, this dispassion must be there. Vairagya. So this is one of the reasons, the rationale given to contemplate upon this aspect of divinity, what it represents, what it symbolizes. Not only Vairagya, but remember Shiva is everything. Sarg, Siti, Pralay, Karan, Mahadidevam. The foremost of God, so to speak. The one who creates, sustains, dissolves, reabsorbs. Shiva is everything. Understanding that, devotees, and try to identify with that, how can we go wrong? Now every day we should begin our journey like this. Because there's such a degree of uncertainty when we open our eyes. The first uncertainty is we do not know if we will open our eyes. We don't know. You can die while you are asleep. Yeah? It is His grace that we open our eyes to a new dawn, a new day. You ever give thought to that? Or do we think that we have that control? Do we? We don't have that control. None of us. We are controlled. So devotees, you want to start your day on the right foot, as we say. This is recommended. And then as you continue your journey through the day, then what do? You have to conduct yourself in a manner that is most appropriate as sanctioned by scriptures. Now, Bhagavan Sri Krishna in the Gita, I just look at the 2 verses from the 18th chapter which we have reflected upon time and again. Bhagavan Sri Krishna, he wants us to do something. Where the Guru comes in, the teaching comes in now. I begin my day with a very positive attitude, very sober, very reflective, remembering that I am just what am I? What am I? Devotees, sometimes it pays to, reflect like this. How many universes are there? Do you know? Countless. Look at the point when Kaghbhushund was swallowed into the mouth of Sri Ram, into the body of Sri Ram, and what he saw? Countless universes. Countless universes. Not Earth, countless universes. This is one solar system we have here. You have countless. In this solar system, in this universe, we have more than 12 solar systems, scriptures tell us. And this is just one universe. You have countless from a Hindu perspective. Science is going to come close to this in due course through their experimentation and so on, their analyses. Devotees, Kaghbhushund, he said, I stayed 100 years in each universe, so to speak, where he was witnessing Sri Ram's Katha. In many universes, he didn't say in all, he can't because they were countless. Many universes, he stayed 100 years, our time, in each one. And when Sri Ram actually coughed him out of his body, just about 2 hours had passed in the present. How can we understand that? Now what I'm trying to put to you, there's this ego that we believe I am this and I am that and I am the next. I want you to contemplate upon the vastness or the infiniteness of the universe. And each universe has countless creatures. Try to bring it down to you and see who you are and what you are in the context of the infiniteness of the universe. Who are you? Who am I? What are we? You see, we are caught up in a little bit of, thing here and there, praises, name, fame, and we feel that is it. And we think we are it. What are we? This is why I mentioned the individual ego that causes the problem. We need to identify with the cosmic ego. That Lord, he symbolizes the infiniteness of the universe. Shiva, we say, is white in color. Why white? White is the basis of all colors. All the colors emanate out of white. You pass back all through a prism, so to speak, you get back white. Symbolically, Shiva symbolizes that substratum of all substrata. And if you can reflect as we begin the day, that Lord, I am so inconsequential. Who am I? What am I? I'm not even a drop of sand on the ocean. Even if you say on that beach you're a drop of sand, you think highly of yourself. What is the value of that in context of the entire creation? Humility is recommended. Don't get carried away. Calm ourselves down and realize, what am I? Not. If I surrender to my master, I have some substance. Yeah. So I start off by focusing upon that, devotees. As I begin my day, Lord, you are everything. What am I? This is why Sutikshan Muni, he himself said, Lord, your glories are infinite. What I know about you is insignificant. How much light could a candlefly give when the sun has risen, O Lord? Total humility. So devotees, we need to work on that. Where is the devil that Western world speaks of? That devil is individual ego. That is the devil inside of every one of us, which consumes us and we don't even realize it. Our attitudes change. We put ourselves in bondage and we don't realize it. We are blinded spiritually unless you get out of that. If this devil, this serpent doesn't identify with that cosmic ego, Param Shiva, we are in trouble, bad trouble. Devotees, so our approach to life must be like this. Bhagavan Sri Krishna, he mentioned to all of us, Sarva guhya tamam bhuya shrunu me paramam vacha ishtosi me dridhamiti tato vakshami te hitam ishtosi me dridhamiti tato vakshami te hitam. हे अर्जुन, संपूर्ण गोपनीयों से भी अति गोपनीय मेरे परम रहस्य युक्त वचन को तू फिर भी सुन, क्योंकि तू मेरा अतिशय प्रिय है। इससे यह परम हितकारक वचन मैं तेरा लिए कहूँगा। गिरिधरी मुरारी गोविंदा गिरिधरी मुरारी गोविंदा राधे कृष्ण मुरारी गोविंदा राधे कृष्ण मुरारी गोविंदा घनश्याम मुरारी गोविंदा घनश्याम मुरारी गोविंदा गिरिधरी मुरारी गोविंदा मनमोहन मुरारी गोपाला मनमोहन मुरारी गोपाला राधे श्याम मुरारी गोपाला राधे श्याम मुरारी गोपाला गिरिधरी मुरारी गोविंदा आनंद सिंधु प्रभु नंद लाला आनंद सिंधु प्रभु नंद लाला हे उमापति देव प्रभु नंद लाला हे उमापति देव प्रभु नंद लाला गिरिधरी मुरारी गोविंदा गिरिधरी मुरारी गोविंदा Now devotees, Bhagavan Sri Krishna in various ways try to enlighten Arjuna with respect to what his duties were, his responsibilities. So in summary, he is saying here, Sarva guhya tamam bhuya shunu me paramam vachaha. O Arjun, listen to the most profound of my words. Meaning, these words would have effect, the essence of what he's going to say. I'm going to relate to you what is the essence of what I am saying to you. I want you to listen. And why I am again reciting this to you, well, about twice earlier in the Gita, Bhagavan Krishna made the same point. So he's saying, again I am telling you. Why? Because you are very near and dear to me. Now, devotees, when there's a wonderful relationship between people, whether guru, chela, whether teacher, student, the attitude, once there's a wonderful relationship, the teacher, etc., the guru, makes every effort to try to impact upon our minds, what is real teaching, what is real practice. So, because of that relationship, which was a lovely relationship, and by the way, it was one of Sakhya Bhav, friend relationship. So, it's important to know, because of the relationship, Bhagavan Sri Krishna is saying, "O Arjun, I'm going to recite to you Param Hitkarak Vachan." Param Hitkarak Vachan. Hitkar, for your benefit. These words, Param Hitkarak, supremely beneficial to you. Supremely beneficial to you. I'm going to relay these words to you, O Arjun. I want you to listen. In other words, devotees, I can say something that is beneficial, but here it is qualified. Not just beneficial, but Param Hitkarak, supremely beneficial. And why not? Because Bhagavan is saying, listen again to the most profound of my words. Bhagavan doesn't talk for talking's sake. This is what he wants us to do. And it's a reminder for all of us devotees. You forget this, it is to your detriment. And these words are coming to us because I would like to believe that we are near and dear to Bhagavan. I would like to believe that. So devotees, simply put, he said, "Oh Arjun, listen. These words are very, very important." Devotees, this is like, the ghee from the milk. You have a whole pot of milk. To get the ghee, it goes through certain processes. Ultimately, you get the ghee. Ultimately. Bhagavan will be sifting everything. And this is where he is coming. The ghee, so to speak. The real important part of that milk. Everything that he has said. What is the essence really? And what is it, devotees? It might sound simple. But you tell me if it's simple. Try. How much of us really carry out these practices? What does he want us to do? He's saying, "Manmana bhava madbhakto madhyaji man namaskuru mame vaishyasi satyam te pratijane priyosi me mame vaishyasi satyam te pratijane priyosi se." Krishna Murari Bhava Bhayahari He Giridhari Gopal He Giridhari Gopal Krishna Murari Bhava Bhayahari He Giridhari Gopal He Giridhari Gopal. Krishna Murari Bhava Bhayahari He Giridhari Gopal He Giridhari Gopal. Kunja Vihari Hridaya Vihari He Giridhari Gopal हे गिरिधारी गोपाल कुंज विहारी हृदय विहारी श्याम मुरारी गोपाल हे गिरिधारी गोपाल हे गिरिधारी गोपाल हे गिरिधारी गोपाल हे गिरिधारी गोपाल. Devotees, to put it simply, Bhagavan Sri Krishna is saying, think of me constantly. Now, what he is asking us to do, remember I have mentioned unconditional surrender. There are 6 components of unconditional surrender, Sharanagati. Many of us say, God, we surrender, but what does it mean? You have to have these 6 conditions. 1, the scriptures give us injunctions. We have to carry them out. But of course, you have to know what they are first. And you can only know that by listening to scriptures. You don't listen, you don't learn. Scriptures give us injunctions and prohibitions. Prohibitions, avoid them. And again, you have to know what they are. Then, believe in God, but none else than God. Only God, that divine, whichever aspect you have chosen. And none else. None else. Humility and self-surrender. These are the 6 components of Sharanagati. So here, devotees, Bhagavan is making the point. Exclusive devotion to me. You can't say you worship in God and believe in a lot of nonsense otherwise. Either you believe in God or you don't. And this surrender, as we say, if you believe in God, nothing comes in your way. And we keep saying like Prahalad. So devotees, Bhagavan Sri Krishna is saying, you have to have ananya prem, exclusive devotion to me. Achal, manavala, that mind must not waver. Now devotees, I'm saying these things because you have to ask yourselves, where are you? Not stop me talking, where are you? Does the mind waver? The slightest problem, the mind jumps all about. You ask to fast for Devi Ma, you fast for 9 Fridays, but the mind's still telling you, something else I could do. You know, devotees, quite a few times many people have asked me, Guruji, we have been doing this, anything else again I could do? Anything more I could do? You have a problem, I told you to do this, you're doing it, but you want to know there's something more that you can do. What you're doing here, don't you have belief in it? Try to understand my reasoning. The mere fact that you're looking to do something more, you don't have full confidence in what you're doing, then how will it work? You could do the whole world of things, nothing will work, because you don't have that faith. You don't have that belief. You don't have that confidence. That man is not stable, not achal. It is very much wavering. That is when people will fall short, devotees. When you want to do so many things you want to do. You know, devotees, I have come across this many times in my life. One of my goddaughters, many years ago, she built a little temple and he had one murti. So he put one diya. Put another murti, 2 diya. Put another murti, 3 diya. Before long, she had 13 murtis and 13 diya. She had to put, and every day she has to light that. Because she feels if I don't light for this one will vex and that one will vex. Now, is that devotion? Ask yourselves, is that devotion? This is how we fool ourselves. Badly. because your mind is not stable. No. No. Many of us may say, plenty devotion, 13 diyas she lighten every day. That is not devotion, that is obsession. Obsession. It's not devotion. So we have to analyze ourselves. And this has happened quite often. What again I could do, Guruji? I tell you, do Mrityunjay mantra jap. Poi. Guruji, I could do anything again? Do you have any belief in Mrityunjay mantra? In what I am telling you? Understand the point I am making, devotees? So you see, when the mind is wavering, then it jumps like a frog, all different directions. You cannot stabilize. And Bhagavan Sri Krishna says, Nana, Nana. Put your mind on me. This Sachidanand Ghan, Vasudev. Now notice in Vasudev. So whether it is Krishna, whether it's Sri Ram, Hanuman Baba, whichever form, you put your mind and you worship and you stay stable. Mind calm. Okay? Exclusive devotion. This is what he means by think of me constantly. All right. Now, devotees, we have some problems here. Sometimes people undergo certain experience that for a period of time in your life, you want to worship Gajanan plenty. You love Lord Ganesh. Then all of a sudden, one morning, you get up and you didn't chant Pratah Smarami Stotra. And you realize that you want to worship Hanuman instead. Now you become concerned. Right? Some may say, okay, I love Durga Ma, but I feel to worship Kali Ma plenty. And what happens to us? We are stressed out by that. We feel that we are betraying Gajanan because they're going to Hanuman. Now again, that's wavering of the mind. Now devotees, the mind will waver. So what I'll put to you, whenever at a certain point in your life, there is this, this desire to worship a particular aspect. Let's say like Ganesh Baba. What it tells us at this point in life, your life, that you are seriously looking for the Gyan, the Vivek, discriminative power. You have to develop that quality inside of you before you can go forward. So at that point in time, the craving, natural inclination is to worship Lord Ganesh. You worship, and then if you find that there's a change, a natural inclination to worship, say, Hanuman Baba, then what it tells me? That you need to work on the mind principle. Hanuman Baba represents the mind principle. So Vivek is already there, but man, stabilize the mind. Say, worship Hanuman. Then you continue for a while. Now, if you notice, the more you change, what it emphasizes here is that the mind is still wavering. You are not yet up at a certain point. Let me put a simple point to you. Ever since I'm small, since I knew myself, I've been worshipping Lord Shiva and Durga Ma. Ever since I know myself physically. And I get up to now 73 years, I know myself totally yet. But I'm still worshipping Shiva and Durga. This is a personal point. What does that tell me? That my mind is not wavering, I am stable. But if I have to do Hanuman Puja, I do it normal. Because I see the same. If I do Krishna Puja, I feel ecstatic, it's the same. I don't make a difference between them. But for me personally, that stability is here. I'm trying to give you an example, what I mean. But if the mind is jumping, it means you're wavering still. And therefore, you are striving to acquire certain qualities. And at some point in time, you may stabilize. Now, I focus on Shiv Shakti, because I see that as the beginning, the middle, the end of everything. Right? Simple. I can't explain everything to you, but that goes through my head. But this, it is unwavering. It is still there, no matter what. Even if I worship Ganesh, who is Ganesh? Shiv Tanaya. Everything goes back to Shiva. So, according to regulation, we go through a certain journey. But I'm talking about your personal worship. On your own, you have to know. Something happens, which is the first form of God comes to your mind. Shiva, Hanuman. Some people say Guru. Guru have your own problem. The idea is that you have to have something. And if that changes, it means your mind is still wavering. Now, I cannot tell you that what it is. You have to know for yourself. Self-analysis, critical introspection. This is how you grow. Nobody could do it for you. So many ways I'm pointing out to you that you're on your own. So sometimes, people think that, oh, that is devotion, No, that's chanchal man. The mind is seeking still, trying to find something. Go through the journey. And a day will come when you will stabilize. An exclusive devotion, nothing else. When you're praying, everything is that form you have chosen, whichever form it is. You reach back to that point, that ishtadeu, so to speak. You don't waver. I hope you understand what I'm saying. I hope I've made myself clear. So devotees, I'm not saying that this has to be Krishna Bhagavan only. Whichever form you have chosen. What you start with, what you maintain, what you end up with. You have to determine that. Okay? Now if you have that firm love and belief, exclusive devotion, and that achalman, that stable mind, you're not going to jump and go anywhere. No way at all. Okay? So all this you have to understand. So devotees, Bhagavan Sri Krishna is saying, you think of me constantly, you bow down to me. Well, how we bow down to the Lord. You see, like the holy places and so on, places of worship. Mother and Father God, Guru, you bow down. Prostration, humility. Devotee Bhagavan says, worship me. Worship me. How? Worship me. Here he is saying, मुझ परमेश्वर को ही अतिशय श्रद्धा भक्ति से निष्काम भाव से नाम गुण और प्रभाव के श्रवण कीर्तन मनन और पठन पाठन द्वारा निरंतर भजने वाला हो. Worshiping me how? Faith, belief, nishkam bhav. Now you have to know that no desire in the heart. Because the desire colors your worship. It colors your worship when you have a problem, especially when you have a problem. Well, pray. When problem goes, you can't pray so much again. No? Devotees, nishkam bhav. No desire. Why? Bhagavan knows everything better than you know, better than I know. The Lord knows, devotees. I've been saying this, Lord, Prabhu, you know what is best for me, better than I know. I don't even know. I don't know what will happen next moment in my life. But you know everything. If you adopt that kind of approach, you don't struggle, you don't fight. You develop a pathway of least resistance. You surrender to that divine devotees. And that is important here. So when you pray, you just pray. I don't know if people can understand what it means by just praying. Because everybody pray because you want something. Well, I'm generalizing. You may have differences. But, people must understand, try and see if you can, for a change, to pray without asking for anything. Without the thought of asking for anything. Without anything in your mind. Nishkam bhav. Try it and see. And devotees, I'll tell you, miracles happen then. Yeah. What you need even think about, it happens. You are protected on all sides. Many times we pray about a mam, our vaktaram, our srotaram, our dhataram, our vanuvacham, our shishyam, our pastatat, our purastat, our uttaratat, our chordhatat, all different sides, oh, protect me, O Lord. You pray that. If you surrender, you see, amazed to see on all different sides, even what you never saw before, protection is there, success is there. You think in Bhagavan provides every single atom of creation? It's our approach to him, devotees. And he's telling us this. This is what he wants us to do. Worship him nishkam bhav. He knows better than you. And I can honestly testify, devotees, early in my life I prayed for so many things. Pray, pray, pray. And, but I always have this approach, mother, father, Shiv Shakti, you know. But a child, you want a toy, badly want it. And mother and father only, if I give you that child, you're going to hurt yourself. Never get it. And when I get a little smarter, every moment to thank my mother and father, divine, thank you for not giving me that. Otherwise, what would have happened to me by now? Hindsight is 2020, no? But if you have that belief and confidence, devotees, believe me, your life becomes different. But we too much fighters. Everybody fighting. Fighting this and fighting that. Fighting for what? And you leave everything right here at the expense of your devotion, true devotion. So when things not working out too right or things continue to go wrong, analyze and see why. It's not God. God is never at fault. We are at fault. Our attitude is wrong. Our approach is wrong. So come in every Sunday morning and doing a kirtan, going to satsang and doing kirtan, that doesn't say anything, What is in here? Your attitude, the intent. And Bhagwan is Antaryami. Antaryami Namo. Jai Sadguru Shiva Namo. Antaryami. He is the indweller. Can't fool him. Can't fool him. So devotees, he's telling us this for our own benefit. He knows what is best for us. Put Nishkam Bhav. Respect and show, regard to all the Sank Chakra Gada Padma, all the emblems that he carries. He said, bow down to me. Sing my praises. We just mentioned all that. Even the singing the praises with what kind of attitude? Right attitude. Not asking for anything. Yes, feel the ecstasy, devotees. I don't know, people can understand this, just to glorify that Lord for the sake of glorifying Him. Nothing troubling you, nothing in your mind. You throw everything out of your mind. You have achal man, stable mind. That Lord alone is here. It's something different, devotees. Bhagavan says, put it simply, you carry out these practices, think of me constantly, worship me, bow down to me, you shall come to me. You shall come to me. And when you go to Bhagavan, devotees, now it's a challenge here. If I go to Bhagavan, there is no attachment and so on. And now my problems start. Because from before self-thinking, how I could let go my grandchildren? How I could let go my husband? That easy. How I go, these relationship devotees, how I can let go all these things? We hold on. And you say you surrender. No. That's why you see the Shiva is important. This passion. Bhai bandhu kutum parivara tu nahi kiska kaun tumhara. Kya karan harinam visara. We have said in the final analysis, who is brother, who is sister, who is husband, who is wife, who is anybody at all. Why do you give up God's name for these so-called relationships that are transient, impermanent? When you give up this world, one day to come, you leave, you go be born somewhere else. Where are all these connections? All the grandchildren and husband and wife, where are they? They're not the same again. Not the same. Yeah. Everybody on their own journey, devotees. But we cling on. Cling on. Devotees? So we have to understand there must be a purity of mind. Renunciation. Now, purity of mind, what it implies? Non-attachment to work. Give up everything for the Lord. Don't do work, Non-attachment to work. Attachment causes the problem. Attachment. So I'm doing this because you know what? I'm getting name, I'm getting fame, I'm getting money. Honor. Then if you don't do that, it's like you are living dead. When time comes to retire, let me see what will happen. Where is name and fame going? Purity, shauch, is non-attachment to work. And renunciation is the giving up of the fruits of all your actions. This is the attitude we need to have in life, devotee. Bhagavan Sri Krishna says. If you analyze it closely, you can't go wrong with this kind of approach. And as I've been saying, you don't run after the world. Nivriti marg, away from the world. And the world come running behind you. You get everything that is needed. And not only that, you're not caught up in bondage. You're free from it. So devotees, that is important to know what Bhagavan wants us to do. And you know what really helps us? There are different exposures that we have. And Pratham Bhakti Santan Kar Sangha. The first stage is to associate with holy people. Satsang. Satsang. So everybody performs satsang, right? Satsang is a popular word right now, but what is satsang? It starts with association. What is satsang? Sang means association, and sat means truth. Truth. So the question is, what is truth? What is truth? Your truth, one lawyer told me, there is my truth, there is your truth, and there is the truth. Which is the truth we're talking about? Huh? Devotees, truth, right? What Bhagavan Krishna explained to Uddhava. Truth, true and agreeable words that please the sages, please the holy ones. True and agreeable words, praises. True and agreeable praises that please the sages, the holy ones, that are sanctioned by scriptures. So like chor burai karo bhalai chor parai ninda. Jhoot na bol, sat ki tol, mithi boli boli. All these practices we need to carry out. But the truth is really what we say, how we maintain. So when I go satsang devotees, satsang, I expect that the truth be spoken there. The truth. Now what can we say agreeable? Truthful or true and agreeable? Now many things I may say may not be agreeable to people, you know. That thought crossed my mind. If I meet Bhagavan Krishna, go ask him. Right? I will say the best I want, but people show different temperament. That one hate what I'm saying. I don't know if you hate what I say, you hate me. Eh? Because there are differences here. Many people kill the messenger. They don't take the message. What does agreeable mean here in this context? Some of us like to hear what we want to hear. And I am saying agreeable in this context means what's best for you. And scriptures, in other words, don't say anything except what scriptures preach. Like what we are doing here. Nothing otherwise. It may not be the best medicine for you, especially if you're guilty of certain things, but devotees, it helps you. So these words are true, come from scriptures. Agreeable, because if you listen to them, you practice them, then devotees, you are going to elevate yourselves. So in satsang, when we come satsang, this is what we expect to happen. Many people believe satsang just come and clap and sing for 1.5 and go home. Satsang has a new clothing right now. That is not such, but it could be, I don't know. All right? But you have to understand what you do in satsang. You associate with the right type of company, the holy ones, devotees. Satsang is very, very important. And I want to submit that what we do here Sunday morning is satsang. All right? We don't mince words, telling you as it is what you need to know for the benefit of all. Satsang. All right? Now they say, Vinu satsang vivekanu hui. Without satsang, you cannot develop discriminative power. Can you get discriminative power in the bar? Huh? In the oval? Wherever? You have to get into the company of people who are experienced, who have the wisdom, and they pass on that to us. This is why satsang is so important. Vinu satsang vivekanu hui. You can never develop this discriminative power without satsang. So those of you who have been going, yes, satsang, I want you to ask yourselves, have you developed that vivek that you need to have in life? You have to answer. I'm not judging anybody. I know, for me, yes, I have. I'm still going. All right, still going. So devotees, satsang is very, very important. Where there is satsang, you have the three rivers flowing. Ganga, Jamuna, Saraswati. Pay attention to this. Ganga, the stream of devotion. Yamuna, the stream of karma, disinterested action. Saraswati, Gyan, wisdom. If you go to a satsang and you're not exposed to these three, that is not satsang. That is kusang. There's a difference between satsang and kusang. Devotees, Hanuman Baba met Lankini, who was guarding Lanka when Hanuman was about to enter. She stopped Hanuman. Hanuman dealt a blow on her nose, knocked her down in a dazed condition. When all the bad blood passed out and so on, and she recognized, this is Hanuman. And what she said, oh Hanuman, this moment of satsang with you, incomparable. So one is Hanuman, to be in contact, the person you have satsang with. Right? Not each and any kind of person. Hanuman, the embodiment of bhakti. Hanuman, Gyan Gun Sagar. What isn't he? Ashta Siddhi Nau Nidhi Ki Data. to come in contact with Hanuman, that is satsang. Even if you get a cuff on she knows. That bonding, the bonding with the holy person, satsang, that moment of satsang. Devotees, many of us don't really realize what satsang really is about. I can remember years ago, a young man growing up, every Thursday we used to go to satsang. Every Thursday. That was before Gyaniva was formed and so on. Yeah? And we read Ramayana. So after every doha, man stop. Acha! You know what they're doing? They have their little kind of cotton board, and they take out the ganja, and cotton ganja, they chill them, they make gum. So what happened devotees, every doha, they stop and all of them take one wrong smoking. But we never used to smoke, right? He said they stop here and man, satsang. Now we're so glad for that, you know why? Because when them hitting them, we doing bhajan. All sing bhai, so we get a chance to sing. Yeah. Devotees, years went on like that. Satsang was an excuse to smoke ganja. Nobody could convince me that was satsang. And I can tell you, all those fellas, all the fellas, all them fall by the wayside. They ain't doing satsang. There's an ulterior motive when you get into that place of satsang. It's not genuine satsang. So it's like you go to a pond. Karya snan bimal karakaya. And satsanga ganga bahi hai. The bhajan tell you that. Karya snan bimal, you go there, that is like a pond. Kari asnan bed. Vimal karakaya. Remove all the impurities from the body and mind. That's what you need to do. But when you go to the pond, some of them took their toe in the pond and place too cold by. Then satsang done. Did you do satsang? You have to know that, devotees. You have to know. This is again why I keep saying you are on your own. You have to know what you're doing. You have to know the intent behind what you're doing. Not just going through things. Other things might be incidental. The devotees, the purpose, the real purpose of satsang is to transform us. They say herons can be transformed into cuckoos. Through satsang, anything could happen. Once there was an argument, devotees, between Guru Vasisht and Vishwamitraji. Guru Vasisht did plenty satsang. Vishwamitra did plenty tapasya. So the argument was, which is more powerful, tapasya or satsang? Tapasya or satsang? Understand the point, right? Austerity, stand up on your head, fasting for how many days, doing what? Or satsang, sit in the company of holy ones and burn away your karmas, imbibe of the glories of the divine, etc. Devotees, they say, okay, well, we have to have a mediator. So they decide to go to Seshnag. Mythologically, that serpent, that being that holds the head on the shoulder, the earth, on the shoulder, right? On his head or wherever it is. That Seshnag, he becomes Lakshman. Anyway, they decide to go to Seshnag and said, oh Seshnag, we have a little dispute here, right? Satsang and austerities, which is more powerful of the two? Vishwamitra is saying austerities, Guru Vasishtha is saying satsang. Seshnag said, listen, with this burden on my head, I can't judge anything, So if one of you could hold this for me, and I will think about it in the meantime. Vishwamitra, first 10,000 years tapasya. He said the power of 10,000 years tapasya, he will hold the earth in place. So he invoked the power of the 10,000 years tapasya. And when he hold the earth shaking all around him. Not stable, right? Under pressure. Then Guru Vasishtha said, half a second satsang. Half a second of satsang. He held the earth and held very, very steady. Very, very steady. So a little bit time passed, Vishwamitra is saying, oh, Seshnag, you're saying nothing? You're not saying which is more powerful? Seshnag said, but Vishwamitra, you seen the answer for yourself? 10,000 years of tapasya, you couldn't hold the earth steady. And Vasishthaji, half a second of satsang, look how stable the earth is. Isn't it quite obvious? Half a second of satsang is more powerful than 10,000 years tapasya. And many of us don't realize the power of satsang. What could happen in satsang? Keep going in and out, in and out. That's like, devotees, the fellow who, they say, you have a bag on your back, he's going up the mountain, going back down. Going up the mountain, going back down. They ask him, who are you? I don't know. What you have in your back? I don't know. Why are you going up and coming down? I don't know. But I'm doing it. We are like that, I don't know who I am. I don't know the baggage I have on me, but up and down I'm going, up and down I'm going. When will we release this baggage? When? And nobody could do it for you, devotees. But you have the avenue to perform it. Satsang. And satsang is, you see now in Kali Yuga, when this thing hard, you know why? You have no tamasha in true satsang. When you go through satsang, you have to put your mind focus. You have no shona, no attraction kind of thing, no? Tamasha. You pray, you put your mind, life is not a joke. But plenty of you like joke. So you go somewhere, Baba say nothing, sing a few bhajan thing here and there, right? Sometimes not even relevant to what you do. Let me go into all that. My mind not into all these kind of negative things. What I am saying is that you have to understand what satsang is, devotees. And you perform satsang the right way, one moment of satsang, you can be transformed. You can be transformed. So we all have to understand what this thing is all about. Right, devotees? So satsang is very powerful, what the Lord wants us to do. We have the avenues through which we can do it. You go to satsang, that's one congregational kind of worship, even one-to-one. However, right association. Remember, truth must be maintained. Right intent must be maintained. Devotees, right practices. The more you understand these things, devotees, you realize that, many of us, not to put it in a bad way, but we are just doing things on the surface, like Bahya Bhakti. Bahya Bhakti. Do the Havan and light the diya and do this and do that, and we are in a comfort zone. It is more than that, devotees. It is more than that. Right? And you could just sit down alone in satsang and see what could happen. And we have a case in our mind where a fellow was passing, a thief was passing, hardened fellow, bad. And while passing devotees, if satsang going on, he comes looking to see if the thief somebody slippers must be. And when he see devotees happen, somehow or the other, as he lived, he died. He died. Or then they catch him, they beat him up, I can't remember the whole story. But the key to it was what? You know what? Yeah? When he died, a wicked person when he dies, Jamraj would come, Jamdut, the messengers of the God of death. When a good person dies, the messengers of the divine will come. So devotees, this fellow is so important. The two said come. Jamdur come, and the messengers of death also come to take this fellow. Big trouble there. Now, under normal circumstances, this fellow should go with Jamdut, by Jamraj. But the messenger of the divine, Narayan Bhagwan, came there, and they took the soul. And when the Jamdut had a play, they beat them up and said, go on from here, we take in the soul. They were puzzled, because they were told by Jamraj that anybody live this kind of life and whatever, you have to bring them by me. Yeah? By Jamraj, and bring them by me, I could deal with them. So devotees, Jamdut now, they went and said, Maharaj, you told us to bring them, you could deal with them, we went there and them deal with we. They beat us up and they take the soul and they say the soul qualify. Devotees, two things here. One, the power of the name Sri Ram, satsang. The second point is satsang. In satsang, this is what happens. We chant the name, whichever name, but the satsang is where you're going to get this happening. And that moment of satsang, save that fellow. Now, your karmas are wash away, You have to pay the penalty for all his karmas otherwise. But that point in that power of the satsang took him to that divine abode for a while. The power of satsang, the power of the name. Yeah. Now imagine if you come satsang and listen. That fellow listening was incidental. Imagine if you come and listen with the right intention. What could happen, devotees? What could happen? So I'm putting it to all of us. When we go satsang, make sure you do satsang the right way. You are on your own. A lot of self-analysis has to be done, devotees. We can help ourselves. Nobody can help us except we can help ourselves. And then God help those who help themselves. Okay? And I'm putting a simple solution. We can start with satsang. And I want the young ones to understand this also. When it comes on the morning service, you go to a Ramayana somewhere, a puja somewhere, the normal thing right now is to go on line. Right? Line. When the puja finish, eat and thing, giggle, skin grin, and go home. That ain't helping you, know? That won't help you. Find that time to dive into the pond of satsang, puja, whatever it may be. Make that effort. You are doing yourself a disservice if you do otherwise. Big, great disservice. So devotees, take charge of your lives. And the Lord wants us to be close to Him. Come to Him and we can begin this journey. Pratham Bhakti, Santankar Sangha, associating with the right company, doing the right actions with the right attitude, etc. Okay, devotees? So bear that in mind and intensify your efforts. And I will tell you honestly, the one of the reasons why I try to make my effort make Sunday morning service going, you know. Here, there are no pressures. If I had to go to a yard somewhere, people have to worry about accommodation, the food they're cooking, if the food tasting good, how much people come in, all different kind of thing, When you sit around here, devotee, you see Sunday morning service here? This here is satsang, we can transform ourselves totally. It depends on what you're doing. What you're doing. And I keep saying that it mustn't be incidental. Make that effort. Be here. Sometimes your mind wavers. I wish I could be elsewhere. That way Maya is pulling you away. Go ahead. Go ahead. That's up to you. Yeah? Who loses? But every moment is important in life. Every moment is important. And to me, this is where we need to make decisions. The vivek comes in. That you know what? I'll plan anything otherwise. I'll schedule it otherwise. I'm doing my satsang every Sunday morning, at least once per week. I'm going to do it. Nothing going to keep me back. That's what I do. Unless circumstances beyond control, which is also possible. But then, I'm always in satsang. So the last thing I'll tell you that, I mightn't go out satsang, Ramayana and so on and so forth, and believe me, devotees, going out right on Ramayana and so on, these feel like a distraction. A distraction. Because you come like a performer, the Pandit. So you have to read Ramayana for the people to like. You have to sing a bhajan, so clap and thing. You understand? The Pandit becomes a performer. And if you sit down and give them this kind of gyan, all them drop dead already. They want to hear that. It's a challenge. So I prefer like Sunday morning service, I hear, and you see otherwise, I am by myself. One is company, two is crowd. Remember the little girl with the bracelet? I told you all that. All seems so blankly. Yeah, by yourself. And always in your own head. You control what you think, what you feel. You insulate yourself from all nonsense otherwise. Jai, I've been telling you, insulate yourself. People have chat. And all kind of vomit comes out on the chat. All you know it what I'm talking about. Don't feel like you don't know. When you see a man of your own ego, abhiman, talk, all kind of stupidness on the chat. And destabilize everybody else. Fix up. And then you think, great devotee, me, I shut out all chat. I'm chatting by myself, boy. Yeah. I share you what the facts are. That's your problem otherwise, not mine. But you see, man put himself in a situation. These things are destabilizing. Destabilizing. For those who do it and those who become affected by it also, it is within your power to get out of it. Now, social media and so on, those things, very distracting. Very, very distracting. Yeah. You decide what is satsang. You want to come and hear how they talk every morning like this? Or you want to sit down on social media and cuss everybody and mind everybody's business? That's satsang, do you know? That's satsang. That is kusang. It destabilizes you. Okay? And devotees, just remember in the final analysis, we are responsible for you. We make preparation for the final havan. So devotees, perform satsang the right way. There's a power in satsang that is indescribable. Indescribable. But you know, the right type of satsang, not kusang. Rama Rama Sita Rama Ramachandra Pahi Mam Rama Krishna Govinda Hari Pahi Mam Krishna Krishna Gopala Vasudeva Pahi Mam Atulita baladhamam Hanumat pahimam Atulita baladhamam Hanumat pahimam Durga Lakshmi Sharada Sarva Devi Pahimam Hara Hara Gangadhar Nilakantha Pahimam Hara Hara Gangadhar Nilakantha Pahimam Sita Rama Ramachandra Pahima Rama Krishna Govinda Hari Pahima Rama Krishna Govinda Hari Pahima Rama Krishna Govinda Hari Pahima. Om Ganganapataye Namah Swaha. Shri Gauri Mata Swaha. Prithvi Mata Swaha. Panchalokpalivaya Swaha. Om Namo Narayanaya Swaha. Om Namah Shivaya Swaha. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Swaha. Suryari Navgrahadevaya Swaha. Shri Agindevaya Swaha. Om Hrim Shrim Chandikaya Namah Swaha. Om Krim Kaliyai Namah Swaha. Mahalakshmi Mata Bhyo Namo Namah Swaha. Shrim Hrim Saraswatyai Swaha. Om Shri Ishwari Devi Swaha. Om Shri Parameshwari Devi Swaha. Om Shri Shitala Devi Swaha. Om Shrim Shrim Shashti Devi Swaha. Om Shri Tara Devi Swaha. Shri Shodasi Devi Swaha. Shri Bhuvaneshwari Devi Swaha. Shri Chanamasta Devi Swaha. Shri Bhairavi Devi Swaha. Dhumavati Devi Swaha. Om Shri Bagalamukhi Devi Swaha. Om Shri Matangi Devi Swaha. Om Shri Kamla Devi Swaha. Sarva Devi Bhyo Namo Namah Swaha. ओम श्री हनुमते नमः स्वाहा, सीतारामचंद्राभ्यो नमो नमः स्वाहा, राधा कृष्णाय नमः स्वाहा, ओम श्री इष्टदेवाय स्वाहा, कुलदेवाय स्वाहा, अष्टांग देवाय स्वाहा, ग्राम देवाय स्वाहा, एतत् करम प्रधान देवाय स्वाहा, 5 times again, वास्तुदेवाय स्वाहा, 33 करोड़ देवताभ्यो नमो नमः स्वाहा, सर्वदेवता सर्वदेवीभ्यो नमो नमः स्वाहा, अनंत स्वरूपाय ब्रह्मणे नमः स्वाहा, ओम श्री गुरुवे नमः स्वाहा. Please all stand, devotees. We concentrate on Bhagavan Shankar. Om Namah Shambhavaye cha Mayobhavaye cha, Namah Sankaraye cha Mayaskaraye cha, Shivaye cha Shivtaraye cha, Om Namah Shivaye. Om Purnamidah Purnamidam, Purnat Purnam Udachyate, Purnasya Purnamadaya, Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Sarvam Vai Purnagvam Swaha. ओम सर्व पाप हरं दिव्यम गांगेयं निर्मलं जलम आचमनं च मया दत्तं गृहीतां पुरुषोत्तमः ब्रह्म अग्नये नमः. Bow to the flame 5 times. बोलिए श्री उमापति महादेव की जय. We join together in our arati, devotees. Shiva, put it in the room. Yeah. And pray right here. Shiva, yeah. And pray. Go ahead.
Om Jai Jagadish Hare, Swami Jai Jagadish Hare. भक्त जनों के संकट, दास जनों के संकट क्षण में दूर करे. ओम जय जगदीश हरे. जो ध्यावे फल पावे, दुख बिन से मन का. स्वामी दुख बिन से मन का. सुख संपत्ति घर आवे, सुख संपत्ति घर आवे. कष्ट मिटे तन का. ओम जय जगदीश हरे. मात पिता तुम मेरे, शरण कहूँ किसकी. स्वामी शरण कहूँ किसकी. तुम बिन और न दूजा, प्रभु बिन और न दूजा. आश करो जिसकी. ओम जय जगदीश हरे. तुम पूरन परमात्मा, तुम अंतरयामी. स्वामी तुम अंतरयामी. पार ब्रह्म परमेश्वर, पार ब्रह्म परमेश्वर. तुम सबके स्वामी. ओम जय जगदीश हरे. तुम करुणा के सागर, तुम पालन करता. स्वामी तुम पालन करता. दीन दयालु कृपालु, दीन दयालु कृपालु. कृपा करो भरता. ओम जय जगदीश हरे. तुम हो एक अंगोचर, सबकी प्राणपति. स्वामी सबके प्राणपति, किस विधि मिलो दया में, किस विधि मिलो दया में, तुमको मैं कुमति। ओम जय जगदीश हरे। दीन बंधु दुख हरता, ठाकुर तुम मेरे, स्वामी ठाकुर तुम मेरे। अपने हाथ उठाओ, अपने हाथ उठाओ, द्वार पर तेरे। ओम जय जगदीश हरे। विषय विकार मिटावो, पाप हरो देवा, स्वामी पाप हरो देवा। श्रद्धा भक्ति बढ़ावो, श्रद्धा भक्ति बढ़ावो, संतन के सेवा। ओम जय जगदीश हरे। ओम जय जगदीश हरे। स्वामी जय जगदीश हरे। भक्त जनों के संकट, दास जनों के संकट, क्षण में दूर करे। ओम जय जगदीश हरे। ओम जय जगदीश हरे। ओम जय जगदीश हरे।
We join together, we conclude devotees. Shiva Hare Shiva Rama Sakhi Prabhu, Trividha Tapa Nivaran He Vibhu, Ajajaneshwara Yadav Paimam, Shiva Hare Vijayan Kuru Me Varam, Shiva Hare Vijayan Kuru Me Varam, Pratidinam Kushalam Jai Mangalam, Pratidinam Kushalam Jai Mangalam. Mangalam Bhagwan Vishnu, Mangalam Garadhvaja, Mangalam Pundarikaksha, Mangalayatanu Harihi. Om Avahanam na janami Visarjanam, Pujang Chaiva na janami, Chamyatang Parmeshwara Parmeshwari. Om Gach Surashreshta Swasthani Parmeshwara, Yata Brahmadayo Devas Chatra Gachutasana. Om Labhasti Shanjayasti Shang, Kutasti Shang Parajaya, Yesham Indi Varshamo, Hridayastu Janardana. Om Sarve Bhavantu Sukhinaha, Sarve Santu Niramaya, Sarve Bhadrani Pashyantu, Ma Kastya Dukbhag Bhavet. Gachatvam Bhagwan Agni Swasthani Kunda Madhyataha, Hutam Adaya Devebhya, Shigra Dehi Prasidami. Om Mantrahinam Kriyahinam, Bhaktihinam Ganishwara, He Parmeshwari Sadashiv, He Janardan, He Kapishwara, He Agnishwara, Yat Pujitam Maya Deva, He Devima, Paripurnam Tadastume. Om Asato Ma Sadgamaya, Tamaso Ma Jyotirgamaya, Mrityorma Amritam Gamaya. Om Tvameva Mata Chapita Tvameva, Tvameva Bandhuscha Sakha Tvameva, Tvameva Vidya Dravinam Tvameva, Tvameva Sarvam Mama Deva Deva. Om Shanti 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 Hari Om. गर्व से कहो, गर्व से कहो, गर्व से कहो, बोलिए श्री स्वाहा माता की, बोलिए श्री सत्य सनातन धर्म की शुभमस्तु. Blessings to all. Kindly be seated, devotees.
Sitaram. Social Services has its sale today, aloo roti, or roti and fry aloo, at $10 each. You can collect it or purchase it outside along with prasad. Sitaram.
Sarika, is aloo roti or roti and aloo? Oh, roti and fry aloo. Okay, all right. All right, so devotees this morning, we say blessings to everybody. Annie, blessings for having performed that one this morning. And all right, so remember that on the 30th we have India Arrival Day celebration, SWAHA, and people have been invited and you have been asked, those of you who are interested in going, to let us know. It is for more like for catering purposes. So those of you who are interested in going, you know, if you commit to yourself, it's good to be there. It's from 4 o'clock to about 6, half 6. This will be at the Mahatma Gandhi Institute, right? Next to Atta Lokjak. It's in the back right there. So those of you interested in going, you're asked to give your names to Annie, everybody, right? So we will know how many from Gandhipak will be going. So please look at it and, you know, commit yourself. I think by today you should give your names because you have to prepare, right? So you have a short time to think about it and commit yourselves. Next week, Sunday, we'll have service as usual and we are pushing Indian Arrival Day. Maybe we'll look at something with respect to our ancestors and so on. We'll see. But we look forward to seeing you next week, Sunday, as you come and join together with the service continues. So devotees, blessings to everybody and have a safe journey back home. We look forward to seeing you next week. Stand up, Annie. Blessings. Don't forget your Udi and Alu.